Chat, do I look upset? Be honest with me. Do I look upset right now?
You are my special.
I love Genshin Impact. I love Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact. I love Genshin Impact. What's my waifu in Genshin? I don't have a waifu in Genshin. If you're looking for someone like that, fuck my... I have husbandos. I mean, I don't even consider them husbandos. They're just like giga chads to me, you know? I don't have like any romantic or physical attraction or investment, like a genuine investment in them. Okay, that's not true. Songli is actually very sexy. It's more like I understand that he's sexy. It's not that I think he's sexy and I want to bang him. It's just an appreciation, you know? I'm allowed to appreciate good-looking men and women. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be sexual. Chat question. Genuine question. Is Honkai Star Rail bigger than Genshin now? Is it more popular than Genshin now when it comes to like Twitch and YouTube? Nah, no, and never. Nah, not really. Hell nah, def not. Now, if I started streaming Honkai Star Rail and I asked this question instead, don't you think the answers would flip? For me, it's boring. Don't like HSR. I see. So Penacony is hype. Is Penacony somewhere you can get to only through questing, or is it like a limited time event? But the new main quest is P-Conny. Oh, you finished the Archon quest in... Oh, I see. In Honkai Star Rail. So what you're saying is, if I was planning to go back to Honkai Star Rail, that story quest no longer exists for me. Is that what you're saying? I see. So, okay. So I don't know anything about Penacony. And I will never know unless I watch it. Is there a point to go back to Honkai Star Rail now? Who knows?
Where are you, Papa?
What do you think have the best main story from the gacha game you already play? FIFA. Oh, I have played the Love Live gacha game a little bit as well, because Neko was super into that. I feel like all the stories in all of them are kind of mid. Like the writing in all of them is very mediocre from what I've experienced. But gacha games are obviously a much lower standard than like your traditional games or like your traditional anime or like normal television production or media production. So by gacha game standards, I've been told Honkai Impact has like a really good story. Genshin has like really high highs and really low lows. Actually, that's not even true. I don't think Genshin even has like super high highs. Genshin has some highs and a lot of low lows. Same with Honkai Star Rail. I feel a lot of it is Resident Sleeper. Epic 7's also kind of story is not that interesting until the end game. I don't know, I just feel like gacha games are not the place to look for good stories. Like if you want a good story, you should just go for an actual like story game where the focus is completely on the story. That's how I personally feel about it. HI3 story is a similar standard and quality to Genshin. So the thing with Genshin and Honkai Star Rail story is, if you really like the characters, then the stories are good, because Genshin is like a character-driven story. The main Archon quest, of course, is like plot-driven, but like when you have to wait months for that story to come out, obviously you're not consuming it in its most natural form, which is binging it in like several large sittings. It's like reading a weekly manga series, except not even weekly, not even monthly. It's like every 2 or 3 months, you'll get a development in the story. And like, for example, One Piece, anyone that's read One Piece weekly knows this, but reading One Piece as a binge is infinitely superior to reading One Piece on a weekly basis, because even between those weeks you'll have like big breaks, and then you start losing information, you start forgetting important pieces of information, and it's also just really disjointed and can feel so bad. Like for the pacing can feel so bad, but when you're binging a series, you get to pick the pacing, you get to decide, oh, how much do I want to read, how much information do I want to consume. Obviously the story has its own pacing as well, but you can adjust how much of that pacing you want to consume and at what rate you want to consume it at. So with stuff like Genshin, my opinion with Genshin, like for example, if I binged Genshin or binged Honkai Star Rail, I think I would enjoy the story like 10 times, like legitimately that much more than having to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 months for the next part to come out, do that part, and then all of a sudden I have to wait another 2, 3 months and I've already forgotten what I did before. And then because I've forgotten what I've done, the story begins feeling disjointed, the pacing becomes skewed, like my opinion of the pacing becomes skewed. So I can't say I can give like a fair evaluation of the story of Genshin or Honkai Star or whatever. And like in between that, You know, like Genshin has all these other mini stories. And if you like the characters Genshin gives you, then the mini stories, they're gonna hit, they're gonna hit, they're gonna hit, and they're just gonna feel really good if you like a lot of the characters. For me, I play the game because I like characters, but I like the characters mostly for shallow reasons. I like the characters not really for their personality, but because they look cool. Yes, I sound like a 12-year-old boy right now, but if the character looks cool, that's good enough for me. I play mainly for the combat, so I don't have that appreciation for the characters' personalities or the story that I would, for example, for an anime. Like when I watch an anime, I care about the story. For Genshin, I don't really go into Genshin thinking I really care about the story. I care about the Archon quest, but I don't get the Archon quest for like 2-3 months, so that doesn't even matter at this point. Because of that, if someone asks me how do I feel about Genshin's story, or how do I feel about Honkai's story, or, you know, I can only say they come across as mid to me. Because you're basically asking me how was my experience, and my experience is like the worst form of consuming Genshin or Honkai Star Rail content for stories, because I'm not binging it. I'm not binging it, and I'm doing it as it comes out, and it doesn't feel that enjoyable. There's like no moments where I'm like,
Oh my god, that's an insane twister. Oh my god, I'm so entertained.
because a lot of the time I'm just sat there like, you know, I'm just like, please, just get on with it, get on with it, get on with it. I'm not sitting down thinking to myself, oh, I want to binge. I want to consume, you know? And because of that, I can't really give a fair assessment of how good Genshin or Honkai Star Rail is as a story, but when I try and think about it as objectively as possible, like how well do I think the plot is constructed? How well do I think some of these characters are written in the main storyline? The most I can say is like it's mid or like average, like slightly above average. Like if it was an anime, I'd be like, yeah, it's okay. You know, like the best I can hope for is when Ufotable or Ufotable adapt Genshin's story is that they're gonna give it insane fight scenes, because it's gonna be like decent fights. But the story is, it's like JJK or Demon Slayer. The source material, the actual story itself, I feel like is really generic, really basic, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if the fight scenes are animated to look insane, I'm happy with that. So yes, I am a meathead. No one criticize me, please, okay? There's nothing wrong with being a meathead. Contrary to popular belief, there's nothing wrong with being a meathead. Stand proud, guys. Stand proud. Us fellow meatheads have to stay together, because if we don't, who will? And unfortunately, the meathead community is the most divided community. You see like the most pointless arguments.
Superman vs. Goku. Saitama vs. Goku. Naruto is world level. Goku is universe breaking level.
You know, so that's how I feel. Anyway, Genshin story is okay. It is what it is. It's nothing crazy, but I don't think it's anything terrible either. If you want a game with a good story, Detroit Become Human. You get to pick how the story plays out, because every decision you make then branches off into multiple different other options, and then every option you take from there also branches off into loads of different ones. What route did I pick? I did not get the most peaceful ending, and people definitely died with the ending I picked. And I'm pretty sure one of the main characters we played died as well. And at the end of it, I think I wanted to kill the humans. The way we played Detroit Become Human, we took turns controlling the characters. So I didn't mean to kill Connor. I did not intend to kill Connor. The guy playing Connor was just ass at the game, and he died. And he failed the quick time event. So that's not my problem. That's his fault. I tried the peaceful route, but at some point got sick of the BS from humans and went berserk. Omega.